Christina Georgy and I welcome you to my channel. The topic we are addressing today is the life and works of Robert Browning. So first and foremost, let's have a look at the biography of Robert Browning. You can see his picture here. So he was born on 7th May 1812 in South London. He was married to Elizabeth Barrett Browning in 1846. Yes, you guessed it right, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, also an English poet. She belonged to the Victorian era and she was popular in Britain and the US during her lifetime. So they had a son together. His name is Robert Barrett Browning. He was also known as Pen Browning. He was an English painter. So Browning died on 12th December 1889. And do you know where he is buried? He is buried in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. Moving on. Let's look at the early works of Robert Browning. Pauline, a fragment of a confession, written in 1833. Dear learners, remember to study the subtitles as well. So Pauline is the first published poem by Browning. It was written in 1832 and published anonymously in 1833. The poem is the confession of an unnamed poet to his lover. Now comes Paracelsus. It is written in 1835. It is a 5-part epic poem published in 1835 itself. Now Strafford, it is written in 1837 and it is a play, it is a tragedy by Browning. It portrays the downfall and execution of Lord Strafford, the advisor to Charles I, shortly before the English Civil War. Sordello, it is a narrative poem on which he had worked on for 7 years and it was written between 1836 and 1840, although it was published in 1840. Moving on. Now let's look at his early plays. The most prominent among them would be Pipa Passes. It is a verse drama by Robert Browning. Is dedicated to Thomas Noon Talfourd. It was first published in 1841 as the first volume of his Bells and Pomegranate series and next republished in its collected poems of 1848. Now comes King Victor and King Charles, published in 1842. It was the second play written by Browning for the stage. He completed it in 1839 for William Macready, who had staged Strafford 2 years before, but Macready rejected it as unsuitable and it was never performed. It was published in 1842 as the second number of Bells and Pomegranates. Now let's have a look at its collections. Firstly, Bells and Pomegranates, written between 1841 and 46. It has 8 works. Some of the notable works include Porphyria's Lover, Soliloquy of the Spanish Cloister, My Last Duchess, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, etc. Now comes Men and Women, written in 1855. It consists of 51 poems in 2 volumes, all monologues by different narrators on diverse issues. Remember, the 51st one features Browning himself as a narrator and is dedicated to his wife Elizabeth Barrett Browning. It includes poems like Love Among the Ruins, Child Ronald to the Dark Tower Came, Fra Lippo Lippi, Andrea del Sarto, etc. Now Dramatis Personae, published in 1864. It consists of dark soliloquies. What do you mean by a soliloquy? It is an act of speaking one's thoughts aloud when by oneself or regardless of any hearers. especially by a character in a play. So the dramatic personae mostly deals with the themes of religion and marital distress. Some of the famous poems of this collection include Caliban upon Setebos, Rabbi Ben Ezra. Remember, this particular poem is based on Abraham Ezra. Now comes The Ring and the Book, written between 1868 and 69. It includes a long dramatic narrative poem and verse novel. There are 12 books, out of which 10 are dramatic monologues. So what do you mean by a dramatic monologue? We'll look at that in our upcoming video, so stay tuned, dear learners. We'll discuss the dramatic monologues of Robert Browning in our upcoming video. So till then, take care. Thank you for watching.